By all accounts, this game shouldn't exist. In 2016, Hello Games released their highly anticipated space exploration game called No Man's Sky. It's a good idea on paper, an infinite galaxy to explore and play around in. The only problem is the original implementation was far from perfect, and even far from moderately good. Instead of an exciting and content-packed game, it's a boring, lifeless shell of a game. But 9 years later, No Man's Sky is still here. The reviews have completely turned around, and Hello Games is still updating and adding new features. 9 years later, No Man's Sky is a completely different game. 9 years later, No Man's Sky is exactly what it should be. So let's start from the beginning. What is No Man's Sky? Well, at its core, it is a space exploration game. The only catch is the galaxy is pretty much infinite. It's sandboxy in nature. You can trade, you can scavenge, you can build, you can fight, you can raid, you can smuggle, you can gather, you can survive, and you can do it all with some friends. Pinning down No Man's Sky to a single genre is pretty difficult. There's a big emphasis on exploration, but it's also a sandbox game. It's got some space sim vibes, but it's also got some role-playing elements. There's a lot going on with this title, and just saying, No Man's Sky is good now, you should play it, doesn't really give the whole picture. Your journey will start on a random planet with one of the least helpful, but also sometimes kind of helpful, tutorials. You're meant to repair your ship and learn the basics of the controls and gameplay, which the opening segment does do, but it also drags on for far too long. It also doesn't help then that the menus feel like driving on the wrong side of the road. Some things you want are in the pause menus, like the material catalog and quest page, but other things are in the inventory menu, like your ship, suit, and eventually freighter. To find the map, that's a quick menu, as is swapping ships and tools. So you have 3 menus, none of which interlink with each other. So after spending a few hours struggling with the menus and hand-holding tutorial, you can finally play the game. This is where you'll be given a lot of quests to do, which in a way act as more guidance for the game's systems. But really, you can ignore them for a while and just do your own thing, which is exactly what I did. Look, you can't give me the ability to fly seamlessly from planet to planet, system to system, and not expect me to do just that for hours on end. 2 of No Man's Sky's greatest features are on display right here. Firstly, the ship interior. Not only is it clear enough to see what's going on, but the consoles actually have some function, showing you your scanner and how fast you're going. Secondly, the seamless transition from space to planet atmosphere literally never gets old. It gives me just the right amount of nerdy pleasure to fly to a planet and just land on it. There's virtually no loading times either. Once you're in a system, you can go from planet to planet seamlessly without stopping. Once you land, you'll be collecting materials, cataloging plants and wildlife, and discovering points of interest, all in the name of upgrades. Every piece of technology you have can be boosted. Your jetpack can launch you further, your mining laser can mine quicker, and your ship's cannons can shoot faster. You're collecting materials for crafting, money for hardware, and nanites for research. And each one is plentiful enough to be consistently improving everything you own. The progression systems are really the hook of the game. Sure, exploring is fun, but finding a chunk of nanites or rare material is really what makes the exploration rewarding. There's a lot of points of interest on each planet, and once you're ready to move on, you can just hop in your ship and head to the next place you feel like visiting. If you find a planet you like, however, you can also stop to build a base. There's a lot of things to put down and a lot of potential with the tools available. From prefabs to completely custom joints, there's a lot you can do with the building system, and I found myself quite addicted to building cooler and cooler bases, both on planets and on my freighter. So while there's quests to do, upgrades to get, and things to build, there's also something not quite as tangible that holds No Man's Sky together: discovery. Close your eyes and picture this. Wait, this is a video. Open your eyes and picture this. You've got your ship, you just flew into space, and you want to jump to a new system. You pick one of the literally thousands and thousands of stars and warp to it. You get there and it says, First Contact. And it means exactly what you think. You're the first person to see this system, the first to ever land on these planets, the first to trade at the space station, and your name is now plastered all over the system as the one who got here first. It's a unique and surreal feeling to be the first person to explore this part of the game. I mean, not even the developers have been here. There's just that many star systems in No Man's Sky, and this is the only game that I've played that has a real, genuine sense of discovery to it. Sure, the planets are generated through some algorithm, and not all of them are super exciting, but there's also some pretty cool planets out there, and finding them is a reward in and of itself. Sometimes you'll run across a system that's already been discovered, and it's still kind of fun to follow in someone's virtual footsteps. But maybe you want to take a more active role in the community. Maybe you want to play with other people. Well, look no further than the Space Anomaly. The Space Anomaly is a station you can summon from anywhere in the galaxy, and it's this giant ball that serves as the community hub. There's a few different activities to start up here. Firstly, you've got some basic missions to take on. Here you'll party up with friends or random folks around the hub and run off to complete some tasks. It's the most basic form of party play. What's more interesting though is the expeditions. If you've played anything like Diablo, think of a season. This is where you start a side adventure, where you start out from scratch and work your way through some quests as a community. Here you'll find other players completing tasks and whatnot. While it's not a fully MMO experience, there is something quite fun about seeing lots of players around the planet you're on. Multiplayer is not my preferred means of play when I get into a title, but this definitely added a nice social layer that I enjoyed messing around in. No Man's Sky is awesome. The gameplay and progression is fun, the multiplayer has worked really well, and there's a lot of really fun ships and freighters to customize. But above all is that sense of discovery. No other game has been able to capture the feelings of being a space pioneer like No Man's Sky. It's this refreshing sense of wonder that does drop after you see the 80th copy-pasted building, but it never fully goes away. And it's all wrapped up with one finishing touch that just completes the game. No Man's Sky is just a really chill game. It's very low stakes. You're not usually in any great deal of danger, and if you do perish, you just walk back and collect your stuff. It's a small thing, and some folks might not like it, but axing the difficulty for a more relaxed experience was definitely the right call. I mean, you can still die, but it doesn't happen very often, and nothing really bad comes of it. Not to mention, No Man's Sky also works in VR, and it runs really well on the Steam Deck. 3 different levels of immersion: handheld, TV, and VR. So the next time you hear No Man's Sky is good now, believe it, and try the game for yourself. Who knows, you may even discover a system of your own.